obviously not happy with the start. Thrilled with what the bench guys did in particular. Love the way Jalen and Cook are embracing their role right now. Coming off the bench for us, and I don't think that we were necessarily played strong across the board with our top 8, but effectively going into a game, we feel like with Jordan out right now, and obviously Sewell and Sampson and Richie, it's kind of guys that are trying to fight their way into a rotation. We got 8 starters. A couple of those 8 starters didn't play particularly well tonight, but when you have a deep team and you have that type of quality, through your top 8, you can still do relatively well.
Do you have an emphasis on Jalen to really step up his game this year, the way he did last year, and how has he responded to that so far?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen's been outstanding, and it could have went another way because the decision that we had to make at the time relative to how we want to start the game. And again, it's selling. It's the coaching staff. Number one, our mentality needs to be about bleeding blue, and it's all about front of the jersey and what the team needs. And this team, at this point needs Jalen to come off the bench and be that aggressive and that assertive. I do think it's kind of freeing for him to have that green light when he comes in the game to just attack, and it looks like it's working good for him.
The 24 assists and 35 baskets. Did you like the ball movement?
Yeah, it was good, and I think you'll see that. We want to be a team that averages 16, 17 assists a game. 16, 17, 18 assists a game, and it probably could have been 30. We bricked some shots. We missed some point blank things that we normally wouldn't miss. We screwed up some fast break opportunities. I knew it, man. I knew that was going to happen. You always start over?
What was that first question?
From the top.
No, that was your fault. Bad job, Phil. But yeah, I thought the number, we probably could have 30 assists today. We did take a couple of bad threes, but that's probably because you guys kept asking how many threes do you want to shoot, and I said 18, and then we took 30. So.
Peer pressure was.
What's that? Yeah, I know, it's a good question. The players must have read it.
You mentioned the 8 guys. I mean, we played pretty much the first 30 minutes or so. I mean, is it too soon to be kind of paring down the rotation, or is it just those are the guys you wanted to see?
Yeah, well, no, I'm thinking about that. That's why, we tried to get Andre or RJ to 26. We wanted guys to try to get as close to like 25, 26 in this game as we could. Obviously, you can't have those guys out there when the score gets, where it gotten to, but in very short order, we're going to need some of these guys to be playing 30-plus minutes in the very near future, so we've got to kind of build their game cardio up. I don't really worry about it because we practice really, really hard, but, we obviously, heading into Atlantis or in a game that's a bang-bang game, RJ's going to need to play 32, 33 minutes. Adama's going to be, need to play up in that range. Tyrese.
How do you like to line up with RJ and Jalen together? Obviously, RJ should be great today, but he's capable, obviously, and playing the way him out there. How's that kind of feel?
Yeah, I don't love starting the game like that. Not to say that we wouldn't do that at some point, but. Starting a game bigger, more athletic, defensive intensity, just opening the game with a lot of force is what we're hoping for with the lineup we're trotting out there. And I don't think we started that way either half today, so that group's got to be better if they want to stay intact. But, yeah, I mean, I love playing those two guys together. I love, you know, having two guards out there that can be creative like that. You're going to see a lot of them together.
We've talked about Jalen being more creative, and I guess RJ too, but is he showing that in practice and on a consistent basis for you?
Yeah, what we're doing with him and Cook is, you know, we put those guys on the second, basically with the second unit, the great team, and you know, they're on there with freshmen, Corey, Rasul, you know, and Richie, and it gives them a chance really in the 5-on-5s to really sharpen, you know, their offensive game. I mean, they get to, you know, they get to be the two primary guys on that team that are, you know, taking a majority of the shots and making a majority of the plays. So I think that type of practice setup for them is lending itself to a situation where, like, they're really, really aggressive in practice, and you can see Cook's, you know, evolution too as an offensive player, getting himself around the basket more, and then in a timely way stepping out for a three, as opposed to what you probably saw from him his first 2 years, where he was oftentimes just standing out at the three-point line.
How's Whaley doing?
I think he'll be fine. It didn't seem like much, maybe a moderate sprain. You know, I don't. If he misses any time, it'd probably be surprising.
One more question?
Talk about Andre a little bit. He does so much. He's so athletic, but you worry about just getting him scoring more to kind of feel a little more confident.
Yeah, he should have took the three in the second half, and he's got a, you know, he's very early, you know, in his career, and I think what happened to him today was he got off to a bad start defensively that led to a couple of baskets for them, and he's such a smart guy and he's such a perfectionist, but I think it did affect. I think it affected a lot of the rest of his game, and he was just he couldn't find a rhythm or you know. But even with that said, I mean, nine rebounds all over the offensive glass. You know, it's just that was a tough game, I would say, overall for a lot of guys offensively because of what they were doing. They were switching some things and downing things on the side. It wasn't man. It wasn't really a zone. It wasn't a matchup. It was hard to prepare our guys for what they were doing defensively. It was very complex.
Adama looks like he can dominate games, but you guys get away from him every once in a while for a bit. Is that by design to get others going, or?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I know it literally looks like we could just throw it to him every time and score. And I would second guess that too, if I was you. You know, the guy is, you know, he's a problem. So, yeah, but you have to have balance, and you know, you have to have a balanced attack, and you know, we also too, like, we need to get RJ and Tyrese. You know, we have to run things for them to get them going in the game, because people are going to adjust, and you know, you got to run things for Tyler to get shots, and you got to have a Cook and Isaiah into the flow of things. And I think that's kind of what got us last year was, you know, we do feel like Adama's a special player, but we also have to really try to develop the total offensive attack for when people, you know, really try to take him away with the trap, and because that's coming. The traps are coming, and the bodies around him are coming, and fronting him in the post with help behind him. It's all coming, because if you single cover that guy, you're in deep trouble. This isn't, you know, he did the same things that he did tonight in both scrimmages. He was completely dominant. So this isn't just like a first 2-game thing.
Ollie had a rough game today. How are you looking to better utilize his game for the next contest?
Yeah, you know, I've got to maybe get him in a little bit earlier. I think maybe get him into the game a little bit sooner before he goes cold. It's hard for a shooter, you know, to sit there for a long time. So I could help him more. But in the end, you know, Tyler's got a chance to be the 52nd 1,000-point scorer in the history of this program, which is, you know, pretty esteemed company there. So Tyler's he's a big-time shooter. He's got a, 0 for 5, first time playing in here. He's going to make shots. He's going to have, he's going to be the next 1,000-point scorer.
You mentioned flow.
One more.
Mentioned flow. Does it feel like things are flowing better this year, just from your side of things, and what you're seeing now outside of the two games?
Yeah, I think we took the two close scrimmages. We've made the adjustments. We know how to play it. Guys are settling into their roles. We've got our 8 starters. We're obviously, desperate for Jordan to get healthy and get back into the mix, because that extra firepower and bringing some more length and athleticism onto the court, it will really fill us out for where we want to be with that first 9. And then obviously got guys like Rasul and Sampson that are, and Richie that are developing and trying to fight their way into potentially forcing us to play 10. But we know who we are. We know what we can be this year. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Great crowd today, too. Thank you, XL Center. It was fun being back here.
Players will be hearing